All right. Okay. So we've got Dr. Ola from Chicago who has been in the club for 2 months. Welcome. We've got Darlene from Detroit, Michigan. Welcome. We've got Regina from Atlanta who joined the first week of February. Oh, wow. So it's been just about 1 week for you. Also, we've got Lori from Pittsburgh who's been a part of the club for 1 month. Thank you all so much for jumping on. We are excited to have you as a part of the Millionaires Club. We've been praying for you. And tonight's call, the purpose of tonight's call is we are going to welcome you to the club, let you know what the expectations are, what we are expecting of you, let you know what you should be able to expect from us, actually clarify for you what you are paying for. So, what you should expect to receive as a part of your membership, and then to make sure that you are connected into some of the technology that we have in place so that you can maximize your membership. Also, we want to make sure that you know the best way to contact us in case you have any questions or you run into any issues, then we want to help you resolve those as quickly as possible. And contacting us the proper way is the best way to make sure that your questions are answered in a timely manner. So we'll go over all of that in just a moment. Let me Okay, let's go ahead and pray and then we'll get started. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we come to you thanking you for this day. We know that this is the day that you've made. We choose to rejoice and be glad in this day. We're grateful for this club. We're grateful for Dr. Jewel's leadership and mentorship. Your word says that you teach us how to profit and you lead us in the way that we should go. So we thank you for educating us on the things that we need to do in order to live a life of profit. And we thank you that you continue to give us strategies, wisdom, and insight as to how to implement those things in our daily lives. We expect the best. We expect to receive the best, and we'll be excellent stewards over all the increase that is coming into our hands. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. Well, super excited to have all of you on. I want to introduce myself to you quickly. My name is Dr. Ashia Leonard. I am the CCO, Chief Communications Officer for the Millionaires Club and the entire Jewel Tankard brand. I have been working with Dr. Jewel for just about 15 years. It'll be 15 years this year. I met her at the church. So she and her husband, Ben, pastor a church in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is outside of Nashville, Tennessee, as you may know. And I became a member of their church. In the process of that, I started doing some business with her and very quickly realized that I wanted to help in a larger capacity. Now, when I met her, I was a full time pharmacist at the time, but I wasn't really doing anything else outside of pharmacy. Somehow, in the midst of all of that, she realized that I had a gift for writing. She needed a writer for her brand. There were a lot of things that were happening at that time, and she really needed somebody to come in and write some things, tighten up communications, and things like that. So I met that need. And in the midst of that, come to find out, I was a gifted writer. And so I started writing and producing her talk show. That led into all kinds of things. It grew into me starting my own copywriting and content marketing company, which actually became an international company with all types of clients from all over the globe. My pharmacy career, which was me working in traditional pharmacy at that time, actually moved and shifted into medical writing. And so now I do medical writing, innovation, and medical strategy for the pharmaceutical industry. And so many other things, investor, there's so many commas. And you stick around here, the number of commas that you have after your name are going to grow as well. I always love to tell my testimony because I know that had I not connected with Dr. Jewel that I would not be doing what I am doing right now. And it has been an absolutely incredible journey. Increase has definitely come, and I love what I do. And so I'm telling you, she has the ability to pull the absolute best out of you. And so I want you to get excited in expectation of all of the ways that you will change, all of the ways that you will grow. Perhaps if you don't have a business now, you may be inspired, motivated to start a business. If you're not investing, then you definitely should be investing as a part of this process, whether you end up being a full time investor or you start investing part time. There's just something about being around wealth information, wealth examples, and consistently getting wealth exposure that shifts every single aspect of your life, no matter where you start. We have people that start with us that are believing every single month to pay the $30, $40 a month that it costs to have a membership. And there are other people that are millionaires when they start. And so no matter where you are in the process, then the this is an environment that can absolutely cultivate your thinking and help you to grow, because the same mindset that it takes to make 5 figures a year is not the same mindset that's going to get you to 6 figures a year. And what it takes you to get to 6 figures a year is different than what it's going to take for you to push to 7 figures a year. And once you get to 7 figures, then you're going to have to reshape your thinking again in order to be able to push through and get to 8 figures and beyond. And so we're excited to have you as a part of the club. So, real quickly, I'm going to go over what your benefits are. What are the things that you can expect as a result of your monthly membership? So, first of all, you get 2 wealth webinars a month. So, you may hear them called wealth webinars, you may hear them called Millionaires Club Chats. They're both the same things. We have them on Sunday evenings at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. For the most part, they are every other week, with the exception of certain times when we don't have them back to back due to scheduling and some things like that. So, our next club chat is going to be next week. Okay. So this week is very, very unique because Dr. Jewel just had her prayer school conference on last weekend. And then this Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday. And so we will be having our club chats the last 2 Sundays of this month. Okay, so you haven't missed any club chats for this month. Don't worry. We're going to have it on next Sunday and then the following Sunday. They're always via Zoom, and you get a reminder email the day before the club chat and then the day of. Okay, so be sure to check your email. I'm guessing because you're on tonight's call that you're receiving emails from us. Okay, so if you got tonight's email, then that's the same email address where you're going to receive the information for the wealth webinars. Okay. So be on the lookout for that. If for some reason you cannot jump on, just like I'm recording tonight's call, all of our calls are always recorded. And then we send those out to the email that you use to sign up for the club 72 hours after the club chat ends. So those Sunday webinars are sent out on a Wednesday, and you'll get the recordings for those. Okay. So there are a couple different places that you can receive not just the previous recording, but all of the past recordings. And I'll be sure to show you those different places in just a moment. So you get 2 wealth webinars a month. Those are primarily going to be with Dr. Jewel. She loves this intimate time that she gets to spend with the Millionaires Club on those Sunday evenings. Okay. So she does ask that you turn your cameras on if at all possible, because she really likes to see your faces. She wants to see who she's talking with, and she really feeds off of your energy and excitement. So if you can prepare to have your cameras on for those sessions, that's greatly appreciated. Of course, we understand that you may not always be in a position to turn on your cameras, but if you can put forth that effort, that would be awesome. Okay. If Dr. Jewel is not the one that is doing the wealth webinar, then it will be another member of the team, or it will be a hand selected mogul in their industry that she has personally asked to come on and share with you. It's going to be somebody that's vetted, that she trusts, that she works with, and that she knows is going to give you some impactful and empowering information. Okay. All right. So, in addition to that, you also have access to a private Telegram and a private Facebook group. Okay. So, you want to make sure that you keep your membership active. If for some reason you go inactive, then you will be removed from those Telegram and Facebook groups. And then if you become active again, then you will have to reach out to us, because you'll have to be manually added back to those groups. Okay. So in the Telegram group is really where a lot of networking takes place. We encourage one another in the group. We talk about celebrations, and we give kudos to one another in the group. And so you want to make sure that you are engaging in these conversations, and people will drop articles and things in there that are wealth related that they're seeing. Now, we do ask that you don't spam the group with promoting your business and whatever else you have going on. But definitely take advantage of that Telegram group. You should have received a the link to join the Telegram group in your welcome email. Okay, so if you did not get that welcome email, and it would have been sent to you as soon as you registered for the club, if you do not see that welcome email, be sure to check your spam and your promotions folder if you have a Gmail account. And because you should have received that welcome email, it's going to have the link to the Telegram group as well as the Facebook group. Okay. In our Facebook group is where we have Money Mondays. So every single Monday at 12 noon Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we jump on for about 30 minutes, Dr. Jewel or someone from the team. And these are more like lunch and learn sessions. So they're always short, sweet, very practical, something that you can jump off of the session and implement very, very quickly to begin to see a change in your life. Okay. Once again, we do keep up all of the previous Money Monday sessions as well. So if for some reason you miss one, you can always go back and watch that session. Okay. All right. You also have exclusive Millionaires Club app content. I'll jump over to the app here in a moment and show you some of that valuable content that's in there that you'll want to take a look at in your free time. Also, there are occasional private chats. So, in addition to the 2 wealth webinars a month, there are occasions where Dr. Jewel will jump on and do just a spontaneous private session. Perhaps she saw something in the private airport, or she was traveling somewhere and picked up a magazine, or she was reading an article in something and it triggered something in her and she wanted to share it with the group. Then she'll jump in there. We'll send out something really quickly in Telegram and say, hey, Dr. Jewel's going live in the Telegram group in a few minutes, or she's going live in Facebook. You want to make sure that you're on. Okay. And so there are those occasional private chats. You also get early access to Jewel T experiences. Now, this is really, really important because these getaways, these live experiences sell out, and they sell out very, very quickly. We just came back from New York in November. It was a fabulous. It was absolutely incredible and life changing. We're headed to Paris in November of this year. And so those people that are part of the club have been able to not only get a discount on the trip, but find out about the trip before it's even released to the public. So you do have benefits for being a club member, you are able to get early access to Jewel T experiences. Now, I do want to say for those of you on the call, in case I know for the most part, um, everyone put in the chat that they've only been in the club for maybe a month or two. If you have been a part of the club and you've already been on one of these getting started right sessions, you are not required to stay. We would love to have you stay and we would enjoy your company, but all of these calls are the exact same. And so if you've heard the information once, you've already gotten it, then definitely feel free to jump off. Okay. And so, in addition to that, the Jewel Tanker Foundation is instrumental in helping domestic violence survivors and also in helping single parents. Dr. Jewel found herself in both of those categories at one point in her life. And so it's near and dear to her heart. And so when you pay, then a portion of what you pay goes towards that. Okay. So thank you so much for your contributions, and they are empowering and impacting the lives of other women. Okay, so how do you reach us if you have a question, if you're not in the Telegram group, if something happens and you can't figure out how to get back into Telegram, or you can't get into the Facebook, or something is happening, or you didn't get the email for the wealth webinar, or some kind of way it seems like maybe you were unsubscribed from the email list, or maybe we talk about an investment opportunity, an optional investment opportunity on one of the chats, and you did not capture how to get started. I don't know. If you have a question, maybe your payment information changes. You got a new bank, you got a new card. You don't know how to change and update that information. How do you reach us? The best way to reach us is going to be sending an email to millionairesclub@jeweltanker.com, as you see on the screen, or giving us a phone call. Now, this number does have a voicemail, and I highly encourage you to leave a message. Okay, leave a detailed message about what it is that you need. Tasha, the Millionaires Club administrator, is there for you to be able to get back to you, answer your questions. If you need her to schedule a special session with you, just a one-on-one Zoom. Some people are really hands-on and they need a little bit more help with walking through some technical processes. She's more than happy to set up that one-on-one with you and get your questions answered. Okay. So I'm telling you, that is the absolute best way to reach us. We do have people that will send private messages to somebody on the team. And I'm telling you right now, that is not the best way to reach us. We are in so many Telegram groups that unfortunately your messages tend to get lost. If you do that, I know everybody that has reached out to me, by the time I see it, I'm like, oh my goodness, they sent this like a week ago. And so I'm usually asking, hey, did you already get this situation resolved? Was it already taken care of? Because it's so late by the time I see it. Whereas had they just called or sent an email, they probably could have already gotten it taken care of. So it may seem like sending a private message is the fastest way to get to us, but it's really not. We don't really get notified the same way that we do when you post something in the group, and we're just in so many groups that it gets lost. So please use the phone number or the email. Now, does anybody have any questions on anything I talked about so far? Okay, welcome, Tonia. Or is it Tanya? Is it Tanya or is it Tonia from Farmington Hills? We're happy to have you as a part of the club. Okay. Now we're going to go over some of the things you should have seen in your welcome email. Now, your email may not look exactly like the pictures on the screen, but the content will be the same. So we asked you for your photo. We need your beautiful photo because we create digital welcome cards for every single new club member. So that's why we need your picture. If you've not given us your picture, go back to that welcome email, and click the photo, and then send us your photo. Also, we want you to join the Facebook group so you can participate in Money Mondays and get inspired and motivated throughout the week. So, click the link there to join the Facebook group. Now, when you do that, I will tell you, you are going to be asked a few questions. So, it'll ask you about your name, um, and the email address you used to sign up for the club, da 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 da. Please don't just skip past that and hit that you want to be let into the club. You will be denied. We do look at those answers and compare them to our active roster, just because people can find the Facebook group that aren't a part of the club. And so every single day, we have an entire list of people that are requesting to be a part of the Facebook group that aren't in the club. So that's why we have those questions. So please answer the questions and make sure you put the information that you used when you signed up for the club. So if you're somebody like me and you've got 12 email addresses, don't forget which one you used to register for the Millionaires Club, because that's the one we're going to have on file. Okay. Next, we have a Millionaires Club app, and it is a wealth library for you, and it contains resources. So you can get that app a couple different ways. One way is through the Google Play Store if you have an Android phone, also through the Apple App Store if you have an iPhone. You can click the link directly in the email, or you can just go to that Google Play Store or Apple App Store and type in Jewel Tankard, or type in Millionaires Club, either one, and it'll send you directly to the app. So you can get it a couple different ways, and I'll walk you through the app here in just a moment so you can see all the goodies that are inside. But make sure that you download that app because it's really, really contains some great information. So this is what the front of the app looks like, and we'll go into it live. But just in case you're trying to find it, that's what the app is going to look like. Next, we have a net worth assessment. Now, people really love this because what we ask that you give the club 12 months before you can truly assess how it has changed your life. We know that results are a result of the habits that we have. The habits we have are a result of our thinking, right? And so, no matter where we're starting in this wealth journey, where we are right now is a result of our thinking and behaviors up until this point. If you get into the club and you say, hey, man, you guys are really thinking differently than I was thinking, or maybe I was kind of on track, but I really need to tighten up in some areas here or there. I've been inspired to start doing this, and you just get started, then you're not going to get to the next level overnight. Right? It's just like joining the gym and expecting that in 2 days you would have lost 50 pounds. That's ridiculous. And so we ask that you give it time to flush out some of that stinking thinking, some of those non-wealth growing behaviors or mindsets or ways of thinking. And so it will take some time to build some momentum. So your net worth assessment really helps you to see where you are. It gives you a baseline. It gives you a foundation to say, hey, when I first started and I first joined the club, this is what my net worth was. And some people are really surprised because some people they thought that their net worth was higher, but there were some things that were actually liabilities that they had been calling assets. And then some people, I'm sorry, there were some people whose net worth was lower than they thought because there were some things that they thought were assets that were actually liabilities. And then the other way around, some people that thought that they really were not doing too well, but said, hey, I'm not doing too bad here. This is really great. And so we don't get that information. It's not shared with us. So, feel free to be completely honest. It's just for your own records to know where you are. And then we ask you to take it again in about 12 months after you start to see how you've grown. The idea is you're going to be introduced to some things that are going to help you to build wealth automatically. And so when you shift from consciously thinking about wealth, constantly consciously thinking about investing, to having some things in place to where you're building wealth automatically, it can become easy to forget some of the things that you've accumulated. Oh my gosh, I forgot that I accumulated that. Oh my goodness, I forgot that I was stacking this over here and stacking that over there. And so in 12 months, you may be much better off than you thought that you were. Okay. So feel free to take that assessment, and it'll give you a great baseline. Okay. Now, at the bottom of the screen here, and this is a little bit out of order, what you see is when you join the app. So when you click on the app the very first time, you look to sign into the app, you will need to use the email address that you use to join the club. And then you'll need to use that temporary password that you see there at the very bottom of the screen for the first time, so the app can connect to your account on the back end. Once you do that, then you're more than able to update your password, turn it into a personal password if you like. But the very first time, be sure to use that temporary password that's there at the bottom of the screen. Okay, feel free to screenshot that, but you also should have received that in your welcome email. Okay, and then lastly, we've got a couple things. There are a couple different ways, sections that we have that give you lists and ways that you can start investing and making money. Now, all of these things are completely optional, but we put them here for you because we didn't want you to have to wait until the next wealth webinar before you were even exposed to something that could potentially increase cash flow for you. So feel free to check out those lists that are there. There's a couple other places in the app where you can access some cash flow streams as well if you decide to partake in those, and I'll show you those in a moment. Then lastly, we have confessions. So Dr. Jewel is huge on confessions. These are confessions that she created herself. Okay. So let me tell you, some people have problems downloading the confessions from the email. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a couple other places where you can access the confessions. Okay. So the first place, and if you need me to repeat this, then definitely let me know. The first place is going to be in the Millionaires Club Facebook group under files. So you're going to go to the Millionaires Club Facebook group, you're going to go to files, and you will see the confessions there. That's place number one. Millionaires Club Facebook group, files. Place number two is in the Millionaires Club Telegram under files. Okay, so Facebook group under files, Telegram group under files. You can access those confessions. Third place is in the Millionaires Club Telegram group. If you click at the pinned post at the top, so the most important announcements we have pinned to the very top of the Telegram group. So no matter when you join the club, the most important information, you will not have missed it. It's pinned at the very top. So when you click the pinned post, you're going to see some things drop down, all kinds of different announcements, right? You're going to keep clicking. You're going to click it a couple times and it will send you to the Millionaires Club confessions. Okay. So you can access them at the top of the pinned post in the Telegram. You can access them in Telegram by clicking on files at the top, or you can access them in the Facebook group by clicking on files. Either one of those ways will get you to the confessions. Okay. All right. So we are going to jump over here to the app and I'm going to show you that. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, drop them in the chat or unmute. No questions? Okay. So for this next part, I do need to tell you I am going to be sharing my screen. So I'm using Zoom from my phone. Whenever I do a screen share, it takes up the entire screen and I'm no longer able to see the chat from Zoom. So if you have a question, you will need to unmute and just shout out your question because I won't be able to see it in the chat until after I stop sharing and we come out of the app. Okay. All right. So let me make sure my phone is on do not disturb. Yes, it is. Okay. And now we're going to go over to share screen. Okay. All right. So you all should be able to see my screen, and we are in the Millionaires Club app. Okay. So I'm going to help you navigate through the app and show you the most important information that's in here. Now, as soon as you get to the very home page, you're going to see all these chat groups right in the front. Okay. So sorry to disappoint, but we do not use those chat groups any longer. Okay. So we created all of our own chat groups within the app. And then the millionaires were like, we like Telegram better. We don't want to use the chat function. We rather just communicate in Telegram. And so we said, okay, fine. Well, then we'll just reopen the Telegram group and we will network in Telegram and then we won't use the chat function. So you're more than welcome to jump in those chat groups and look around if you just want to kind of look around and see some of the things other people were talking about. But we don't use those any longer. Okay. So if you put a message in there, we are not going to see that message. All right. But this app does have a lot of good functionality that you may be interested in, even though we don't use the chat function. So, first thing I want to show you at the very bottom of the screen, if you look at that third icon, it looks like a play button or a YouTube button. If you click that, you will see past wealth webinars. Okay. And now it does start at the beginning of 2021 at the top. So you will have to scroll down um, to get to some of the more recent ones. But you can see these Millionaires Club chats or wealth webinar replays. You see Dr. Jewel doing these. Unless it's some other expert or somebody else from the team, but she absolutely loves that personal time. Okay. So I would recommend you to go back and listen to some of these. Think of it almost like a podcast. I remember we had a club member that in her first 30 days, she just went back and listened to all of the previous replays. And she talked about how her life changed in such a short amount of time. It really shifted her mindset, but she just started flooding her ears with hearing this information. So I want to recommend that you go back and listen to some of these. Okay. All right. So that's how you can get to the previous replays. Now, there is another way you can access the replays. So at the beginning of the call, I talked about how, at the beginning of the call, I talked about how every single call we have is recorded and then we send out that recording to you via email. Okay. When you receive that replay email, you're going to have the replay for the last club chat at the very top. So let's say next Sunday, when we have our next club chat, because we're not having one this Sunday, right? When we have our next club chat next Sunday, the following Wednesday, we're going to send you out an email. It's going to say replay from club chat on February the 19th. Okay. You're going to see that replay at the top. But if you scroll to the bottom of that email, then you'll be able to access all of the other replays. So you can either access them through the app or you can access them through any replay email. Okay, any replay email at the bottom is going to give you access to all the other replays. Okay. All right. Also, bottom right-hand corner of the app. So you see, even when the main screen changes, these icons at the bottom do not change. So no matter what screen you're on, whether you're in the replays or whether you're on the home page, either way, you can still access the information I'm showing you now. So icon farthest to the right looks like a newspaper. If you click that, it's going to take you to some blog posts. These are just short, sweet nuggets of wealth information that's going to be really good for you to just start feeding yourself. So wealth is one of those types of things that you have to keep in front of your eyes. You have to keep it before you, right? Especially to drown out some of the other noise. So as many different ways as you can get it in front of your eyes, coming through your ears, you want to keep it going. So in your free time, you want to come in here, check out some of these blog posts. There's all kinds of things from using social media to grow your brand, to eating like a millionaire, to stretching outside of your comfort zone. You really want to be sure that you take in that information. Okay. Next, we're going to go to the top of the page, top right-hand corner. You're going to see 3 lines in the top right. Okay, once again, you can access those from any page that you're on. When I click that, I'm going to come to another menu. Okay, I can access the blog post once again from this same menu. But there's some other things I can access as well. If I click the resources tab, it's going to take me to PowerPoint presentations. Okay, so we have a few PowerPoint presentations that we have put together for you in different topics. Drawing a blank on the word that curated. That's the word I'm looking for. We've curated these presentations for you and put them in here. Okay. So, I told you that there was another place that you could go to have access to some cash flow streams. So the first place was in the welcome email. We had a button where you can access different cash flow streams and investment ideas if you're, optional, if you want to. The other place is in here under resources. So of course, we've all heard of Uber and Lyft and things like that, but there's some things in this presentation that you may not have heard of. Now, we're not saying you need to quit your job and do any of these things full time, but the idea is you want to increase your cash flow, especially right now. Because of everything that's happening in the economy, you want to be in a season of increasing your cash, because here pretty soon, those people that have cash on hand will be able to make major, major, major purchases. So you want to be doing everything you can to increase your cash flow. And that might mean that you need to do a little food delivery or do a little whatever on the side of whatever you're doing, or access some of these other cash flow streams that are in this presentation just to increase your cash flow. So it gives you more money to invest. It gives you more money to have access to, have that capital to be able to build and grow those assets, right? Okay, so everything from that to money management ideas, understanding how your credit history, understanding how your credit score is comprised. So if you're trying to fix that on your own, understanding where you need to focus your attention, build business structures, and why you don't want to commingle your funds, and ways in order to structure your business so that it is set up correctly. All those things, these are amazing presentations. that we've put together for you. So take advantage of those. Okay. So those are under the resources tab. If I go back to those three lines in the top right and I click on links, then it takes me to this page. Okay, there we go. It takes me to this page where I can access some of the most common links that you'll hear Dr. Jewel talk about. Okay, so we've got her book, The Mind of a Millionaire, right at the top. We've got Quicksilver. Perhaps you want to start accumulating silver, investing in precious metals, or investing in gold, or you want to know what are some of those wealth building classic books that she recommends everybody read. They're right here in the app. Start with Why, The Big Stretch, Millionaire Woman Next Door. It's Rising Time. And so you don't have to remember what they are. When you click the link, it's going to take you directly to the link on Amazon or wherever the book is housed in order to purchase it. So you don't have to remember where the link is. We have it all in one place for you. Okay. So check out those links. If you ever need the link for something that's not on here, you can't find it. Once again, we talked about the ways that you can reach out to us via email, millionairesclub@jeweltanker.com, or the phone number that we talked about at the beginning of the presentation. Okay. All right. Going back to those three lines in the top right, if you click on downloads, there's some more goodies in here for you. Okay. So these asset trackers are, if you're kind of old school and you said, you know what, I want to physically write down things. I'm not all about that digital. I want something that I can print this out every single time I invest in precious metals, or every single time I invest in crypto. I want to write it down and keep a ledger. Then we have that there for you. Okay. We've also got some amazing financial calculators in here for you. Let me just click on one of these so you can see it. Okay, so these calculators are designed in order to help you organize your money. Okay, so you can decide what your income is, you can decide how much your monthly expenses are, you can change all of these values, and then you can figure out how you want to distribute your money into various accounts. So one of the things you're going to learn that Dr. Jewel teaches is you should not have all of your money in one account. First of all, it's dangerous to live like that, because prayerfully, you will never be the victim of identity theft, or you will never have anybody to hack into your account. But if something were to happen and all of your money is in one account, and for whatever reason that account gets frozen, or there's something happening to that account, and while you're waiting for the bank to reimburse you, you don't have your money anywhere else where you can get your hands on money. That's not good. Okay. Secondly, you want to get in the habit of paying God first. Then, secondly, you want to pay yourself, and you pay yourself in investments and savings. Then, you want to pay your bills last. That's the only way you're going to really be able to get ahead. If you, every time money comes into your hands, you spend it all on paying bills, then your bills will be paid, but you'll never start to accumulate any wealth. Okay. So, one of the easiest ways in order to make sure that you are paying yourself is to have separate accounts for the things that you are paying. Right. So, however you want to divide that out is totally up to you. We all do it in a different way, but when money comes into my hands, then I know I have, my 10% that's going to go to God. Then I have my 10% that I'm going to invest. Then I have 10% that I'm putting, towards education and mentorship, coaching, and empowerment. Then I have 10% that I put towards investing and passive income. Then I have 10% that I put towards long-term savings. And then the remaining 50% is what I use for bills and stuff like that. So that's just kind of how I personally have my accounts set up. But you can do, oh no, and then there's one other account that's a splurge account. I forgot about that. There's one other account that's a pamper me account. And so that makes 5. So however you need to divide your money up, it's totally up to you. But this financial calculator will absolutely help you to get there. And we have it for whether you are self-employed or whether you are working for someone else. Okay, so we have the financial calculator for the employed or for the entrepreneur. Okay, there's another great calculator in here, necessity or nah. Oh, before I say that, ways to make money. So that's the third way that we have in here that you can click on that and it'll give you a list and give you links out to other things that you may want to do in order to increase your cash flow. So check that out. Necessity or not expenses is another tracker that will help you to look at everything that you're spending. So you're going to plug in every single bill that you have. Then you're going to ask yourself, do I really need all of this? Do I really need to pay for Hulu and Netflix and Disney Plus and Paramount Plus and Peacock and cable and satellite? I mean, do I really need to be paying for all of this? Do I really have to get Starbucks every single morning? Whatever those things are, you're going to put in all these expenses. Then the things that you say, you know what, that's not a necessity. That gym membership is not a necessity because I bought it and I haven't gone. So either I need to start going or I need to cancel it because I'm just wasting money at this point. So whatever those things are, it's going to calculate to where you can see, man, that's $300 a month. Excuse me, that's $300 a month that I've been wasting that I can be investing that $300 or whatever that is. Then it has a place where it can help you decide how you're going to divide up that $300, so that how are you going to use it? Are you going to use a portion of it to pay down debt and a portion to invest, or what are you going to do? You'll learn that Dr. Jewel does not believe, she's totally different from Dave Ramsey. She does not believe that you need to put all of your expendable income towards paying down debt and then wait until you're out of debt to start investing, because you're already lost time and compound interest. And so you could have been earning interest while you were paying down debt simultaneously. And so dividing your money up, earmarking your money, giving your money an assignment is going to be one of the foundational ways that you can start to build wealth and really begin to see some momentum happening within your accounts. And that necessity or not expenses and the financial calculators will help you do that. Okay. All right. So I know I gave you a lot of information. Does anybody have any questions for me? Any questions for me? Has this been beneficial for you? Can you hear me? Hello. Okay, Stephanie said that it has been beneficial for her. Regina said it's been beneficial. Okay, great. All right. So questions going once? Don't forget, we do not have a wealth webinar on this coming Sunday. Enjoy the Super Bowl. If you're into football, enjoy your family or whatever you're going to do on Sunday. Have a spa day, spend time doing self-care and relax, whatever you're going to do, and have a happy Sunday. And then we will see you on next Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Thanks once again for being a part of the club. You all have a prosperous weekend and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.